What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is season 6, episode 15, I believe, and the episode is titled Throw the Book at Him. Let's go ahead and jump right into it because, yes, I did miss doing a review for episode 14, but honestly, it wasn't really given. Let's get into this episode, though, because we get to the aftermath of the fallout of Marcus and Ray J. Yes, on the last episode, Marcus, Ray J, and Prinky met up, and Ray J acted extremely childish and was throwing fries at Marcus and was ready to fight. So now we have Brooke and Marcus having a conversation about what went down. Oh, gotta mention, their daughter Shy was there. The cutest little girl, okay? Super cute. They send her out the room, and they talk about what went down. So basically, Marcus is like, listen, I met up with Ray. I thought I was only going to be talking to Ray, yet Princess was there. Ray was acting extremely childish, throwing French fries and all of that. At this point, Marcus don't want to speak to the Norwoods anymore. He probably don't even want to be on this show, okay? I know he ain't gonna say it because, well, the show is paying them and they're filming the show at the moment, but you can tell Marcus don't want to be around these people. He don't. And at this point, he's like, you know what, I would rather we just focus on ourselves, focus on the music that we working on, and leave it at that. So, Brooke, she ends up questioning, is Miami even a good place for them? And here's the thing, no. The answer is no, because the way y'all are indirectly in drama is crazy, okay? And also at the same time, it's like, I just wish that they would have brought back Love and Hip Hop LA. Hollywood, that's what it's, Hollywood. If they would have just brought back that, we could have had her on that show. And Brooke could have been the main girl. Her and Marcus could have been, the main couple. You could have had China and Derek on there because they don't fit in with this crowd either. And I'm pretty sure they could have found a couple of other people who are in LA who could do the show. Like, I'm just not understanding why they didn't bring back Hollywood. It's not making sense. Somebody needs to go over there and talk to the producers and be like, listen, some of these people on this cast ain't working. You need to put them back in LA. You don't need to bring Ray and Princess back. You really don't. But I do think that there is something if you were to have Brooke be like the main chick that's on Hollywood and put Angela over there and put maybe, a couple of other girls that are around California on the show. Nonetheless, back to the story at hand. Brooke mentions that her mom is going to be coming into town. All right, cool. Moving on from there, Trina and Swerve, they are on this press tour because she has to promote her book. They're in New York City, and I forgot to mention her sidekicks are there as well, which is Joy and her brother Snoop. And here's the thing, there's one person who's missing. It's Bobby. Bobby is usually always around when Trina has big moments, but at this point, he ain't really around because they don't want him around. Okay? And the sucky part about it is that, again, Trina, she had already cussed Bobby out. Okay? Her and her husband. And Joy is such a yes man, her and Trina brother, that they are not being like, yo, y'all know y'all was wrong. Like, Bobby wasn't even doing that much when he got into it with Hot Topic. Really, Hot Topic was doing all that yelling. So it's crazy to me that they sitting up here talking about some, yeah, man, wish Bobby could have been around. Y'all don't like Bobby. Let's be honest. The whole family don't like Bobby. That's what it's giving. Like, it's just not making sense. Especially when Snoop was like, yeah, I thought it was funny. You thought it was funny when Bobby got drenched in water because Swerve was upset? That's crazy to me. And then, next thing you know, they start asking Joy questions about, what's going on with you is so unique. And according to her, that's her business, but also at the same time, she was just being petty towards Trick. Girl, Joy, get you some business, please. Moving on, we see Ray and Pinky Doll. This whole scene was something I did not need. They were trying to do this little acting thing, and I was over it. So basically, he says that Amara has competition for this role in the One Wish movie. It's either going to be Amara or Pinky Doll. For what I've seen, the One Wish movie is going to be terrible. Moving on, we get to Eliza. Now, I gotta mention a little bit about Eliza from the previous episode because of all the people to tell that she was pregnant. She told Miami Tip, knowing number one, Miami Tip don't like her. Number two, Miami Tip was going to judge her. Eliza, your elevator doesn't go all the way to the top because why would you even tell Tip that? Like, you know y'all ain't tight like glue. What are you doing? So at this point, she talking about she mad that she told Tip her business. Like, I just can't take Eliza seriously. But nonetheless, she ends up meeting up with her brother, Richard, right? Now, what got me was that she's like, oh yeah, I just need like a little cleanup or whatever, or a lineup, however she phrased it. And I'm like, what is she doing? Because he look like he a barber. They're in a barber shop. He whips out the clippers. And basically, she gets like the back of her head, like, cut down or whatever. I had a friend back in the day who used to do that. I used to think it was hella weird. Like, okay, so you don't want that little kitchen area to show? Okay, girl. But nonetheless, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this conversation. She tells her brother that she's pregnant. He ends up asking her, does she know who the daddy was? I said, wow. The way her family talked to her on this episode, I said, girl, your family has been giving you a side eye this whole time. First of all, who asked somebody, do you even know who your baby daddy is? I'm like, dang, like, you just basically saying she get around. Here's the thing. She says that, yes, she does know who her baby daddy is, but she's not going to say who it is. And then he ended up asking her, like, oh, so who have you already told? And she's like, oh, Miami Tip. That's stupid. Then, here's the thing. He brings up her daughter. He's like, okay, well, you know, how do you think Shamaya's going to feel? Because she just had a baby and now you're having a baby. I'm just like, ooh, that's so ghetto. That is so ghetto. But at the same time, like, it happens. And also, yes, it is strange that a mom and daughter are having children around the same time. But at the same time, she was a young mother. Like, even though she wasn't there, let's be honest, Eliza had her daughter when she was like, what, 17 or something? So, yeah, it's possible for her to keep having kids. You know what I mean? Like, here's my only thing about when Eliza mentions this is that she never talks about it like, oh yeah, you know, me and my guy, like me and my boyfriend, we're about to have a baby. Like, it's definitely giving maybe a one night stand, or they were just kind of in a talking phase. They ain't really together. Something's off about this whole situation. Because it's not giving that she's happy. It's giving that she nervous to tell that man that she pregnant because it might be a future 2.0 situation. But moving on, Trick Daddy. Trick Daddy is pissed off about Pinky Doll interrupting the twins' performance from the last episode. But if we're being honest, we all know that performance would have been garbage. Here's the thing. The twins' mama show up, and first of all, in this scene, why is everybody sitting here with bad skin and wearing pink outfits? Everybody outfit had pink in it. I'm like, what's going on here? Trick Daddy, he opens up about the song that Derek produced, and he's like, I don't like the song. Like, I don't know what that was, but I don't like the song. Here's the thing. If I want to be completely honest with y'all, as many names as Derek listed that he has produced music for, I'm going to have to look through that list and see if he actually produced the songs by himself, or was he like a part of a team of producers? Because I'm sorry, Derek it's not giving you a good producer because number one, the song for the twins. Number two, the song that you gave Angela. It's not giving you a good producer or a good writer. Everything's given questionable. Nonetheless, Trick basically is pissed off at the twins because he feel like they've been lollygagging and wasting time this whole time that they've been in Miami. Okay? And he ain't lying. They absolutely have. Like, the fact that he broke down the fact that, when they go into the studio, it's supposed to be a 4-hour session. They make it last 8 hours. Ain't got no song when they come out of there. It's like, yeah, y'all wasting his time, wasting his money. So then one twin, she trying to get the heat off of herself. And she like, well, it's because the other one, she messing around with Jalen. Jalen over here playing dumb, acting like he been it and he ain't in it. And now they mama pissed off, okay? To the point where she go take Trick Daddy outside. Now the twins and Jalen are in the house, and the twin who is single, she's like, I'm going to continue my career with or without my sister. And the mom, who's outside yelling at Trick Daddy, she feels like Trick should have been running his household and he should have nipped it in the bud. First of all, these people are all grown. Let's start there. Secondly, they have been sneaking around, you know what I'm saying, right up under his nose. What did you want him to do? You're acting like they're like 16-year-olds. Lady, just admit that your daughters don't have talent. How about that? How about we start with your daughters not having talent and then we can move from there? Moving on. We see Trina, she is having a book signing or whatever, and Snoop and Joy decide to FaceTime Bobby. Baby, Bobby basically feels like he's going to start saying how he feels about everything, and at this point, he has been hot topicked, okay? He's been pushed away, he's been exiled from the circle, and if I'm being honest, I don't feel like any of them actually care about Bobby. Because if they did care about him, this conversation would have been had a long time ago, okay? It would have been corrected immediately when Swerve threw that water on him, okay? But we're going to go ahead and move on because we then see Bobby. He goes to talk to Amara. She's doing this photo shoot or whatever, and I forgot to mention, y'all, last week she ended up asking her baby daddy for sperm, but at this point she's actually in her head about it because she still wants to have more kids. However, she don't want to have a bunch of baby daddies. So basically, Bobby and her sit down and she tells him that she feels some type of way because, her friendship with Bobby has kind of gone to the left because of everything that happened with her and Princess, right? And Bobby calls her out. He like, listen, well, you was dead wrong for going to go see a married man and then you called her after the fact, right? However, Amara is going on and on about how, this is all because of Ray. He's never smelled me, all of this stuff. And then brings it around town to say, when he came to my house, my mom was here, like nothing was happening. Here's the thing, Amara. What's throwing me off about that situation is that man never had to come to your house. The conversation that you had with him in the club, by the time we got to the end of that scene, that should have been the end of it. He asked you to be in the movie. Y'all apologized or, got to the point when it came to the whole you and Safari thing. Y'all danced on the floor, which he said he wanted to learn the bachata. That was it. There was nothing else to talk about. There is no reason why that man should have went to your house. Point blank, period. I'm still standing on that. And the fact that you just realized that you were a pawn in his little game with Princess, girl, you should have realized that a long time ago because Princess and Ray play all day with each other, okay? The girl, think about it. Princess was literally on the internet being mad about Suki. Goodbye, okay? Moving on from that, I got a question. Do y'all think Sukihana will come back to the show? Because we ain't heard nothing about her or from her in a while. Do y'all think she will come back to the show? Let me know in the comments. Moving on from that, though, Amara goes on to tell Bobby how she wants to freeze her eggs And she was basically going to use the money from the movie that Ray J is doing to pay for the whole, to pay the medical bill for that, right? And here's the thing. Bobby is like, okay, you want to freeze your eggs, but who gonna be the baby daddy? Because, like, you ain't got no man. What's going on? So, of course, she brings up the whole Alan situation. And he's like, I know you're not trying to have a baby with Alan. That man called you out your name. He called you a black bee. Ain't no way you trying to have a baby by him. I said, I know that's right, Bobby. At least Bobby is trying to stand on the right side of justice, okay? Because that would be crazy to have a baby by that man. Another child by that man, I should say. Moving on from that, Bobby talks about the whole Trina situation. And basically, like I said earlier, he feels exiled from the family. But because she does have a book signing coming up, he's going to try to attend it, right? We gonna get there. Moving on, though, we see Brooke. She's out to dinner with Marcus and their daughter. And next thing you know, her mom shows up. Brooke's mom, very beautiful, okay? Like, literally, it's a full line of beautiful people, okay? Family line, the genes are great. So Brooke and her mom have a conversation, and she talks about how, all these girls in Miami got all these issues, and they had them before she even got here. However, now that, she's tried to help mend some fences, everybody has kind of turned their back on her. Her mom, the way her mom was all into getting the tea was hilarious to me, because she was definitely trying to follow along with who said what and what was going down. But here's the thing. Brooke, she breaks down the fact that all these people now have an issue with her because they feel like she's not choosing their side. And then she goes on to open up about the fact that, she did have a miscarriage. And with that, it made her want to hang out with these girls more, just to kind of escape from thinking about that. And what's crazy to me is that most of them girls don't even know that you had a miscarriage, Brooke. Okay? The only person that you told was Amara. And on top of that, these girls were not your friend, okay? I know you came in thinking that you was going to be cool with some of them, and maybe you have been around them in passing, but I'm sorry. The energy that they have been giving Brooke is kind of wild. Especially when Miami Tip, of all people, chimed in talking about how Brooke don't be taking up for people. Girl, you smile at Eliza's face and you can't stand her. So why are you piping up? Moving on from that, though, her mom does give her a pep talk and was like, listen, I know that you're the type of person that always wants to help people, but at the end of the day, you cannot help people who don't want to be, receive the help, I should say. They do have like an emotional moment, and honestly, Brooke, she needed to hear the support that her mom had for her. So we shall see if Brooke and Marcus are gonna stick around in Miami, okay? Moving on from that, Amara and Ray meet up. This is another scene that was just some contrived bullshit that Ray J has come up with. At this point, I don't need to see any more scenes with Ray J, because he keeps putting on skits and I'm over it. So basically, he tried to flip this whole situation on her or whatever, and said that she's delusional, she owes him an apology, and that he's going to hire her before he's going to fire her before he hires her. I said, what is this saying? Get it away from me now. And then for Amara at the end to be like, yeah, I'm considering working with him. Goodbye. You can take Amara and Ray J and get them both away from me. Moving on from that, we got to talk about Eliza real quick. Eliza's with her family, and they're handing out turkeys or whatever. And here's the thing. We quickly learn that Eliza's family don't even like her, okay? We see her and her sister get into it because they decided to rehash some drama that happened last Thanksgiving, right? Then she just kind of blurts out and tells the family that she's pregnant. Now, I didn't catch this one lady name. I don't know if she a cousin, a sister, a auntie. I don't know what she is to Miss Eliza. But baby, she did all the talking, okay? Because after Eliza reveals that she's pregnant, like, she literally asked that girl, so what are you gonna do with a baby? Because you too busy right now. I said, oh, like, Eliza, I know that you didn't raise your first child, but it's giving that you're no longer around your other child either. Like, who's watching your daughter reign? I think that's the real question right now, because the way your family acted, they seem like either they had to step in and help raise both of your children, because my God, they have no faith in you. Like, seriously. So, here's the thing. They talk about the fact that she received a lot of backlash for having a baby by Future. Okay, yeah, we know that's very true. And then this is the next family member that questions, how do you think your daughter is going to feel? And I will say this. Eliza was not open to this conversation at all, because she feels like she's carrying this baby and it is what it is. Everybody needs to support her and let that be that. However, the person was talking, I can't remember, like I said, what her name was, but she's like, you're expecting for your daughter to raise a kid, go to college, do all these things, and you're not even there to support her if you are going to be raising, a new baby. Now, here's the thing, okay? Yes, she should be supporting her daughter, but at the end of the day, it is her daughter's decision if she wants to continue school, if she would rather work. Like, let's not forget that her daughter is an adult as well, okay? That's first. Secondly, do I think that she needs to support her daughter, though? Absolutely. However, I don't think Eliza knows how to be supportive. And not trying to be funny, but just saying the way the family responded, it seems like Eliza does not have support from them either. Therefore, she does not know how to give support. Let's start there. Another thing about this whole situation is, yes, Eliza, if you want to have another baby, you can. However, I don't think that you should expect for the family to be like, oh my gosh, Eliza, congratulations, when your situation don't even sound like it's a solid situation. Like, I'm not sure what you're expecting from your family, especially considering you done got into it with your sister, number one. And number two, they have had to have your back when the internet was on your ass. And it sounds like there's some family issues there. Because it was very interesting when that lady said, we got to stop enabling her. And I'm like, damn, like, what you been doing, Eliza? Because the way they talking to you, they're talking to you as if you are a teenager who has made some questionable choices. Okay? Then, Eliza, she shuts down. She gets really defensive, like she always does. And then her sister out of nowhere was like, yeah, because I should have thrown a turkey at your head. I said, whoa, what's going on here? See what I'm saying? The family don't really like her. Family don't like her. Moving on, though, let's get to this last scene, because Bobby goes into the book signing, right? Because he's trying to support his cousin. And we see that So Unique is around, hanging out with Joy. So now we're given this illusion that Joy and So Unique may be into some type of relationship or situation, whatever it is. I'm just like, Joy, you too old for this. But we gonna move on, because Bobby goes and gets his book. He walks up, he has Trina sign it, and next thing you know, Swerve pulls Bobby to the side. Now, first of all, in his confessional, this man talking about because people take it too easy on Bobby. And I'm like, what did Bobby do to you? Because he ain't done nothing. So then Bobby, he goes to talk to Swerve or whatever, and Swerve feels like Bobby and Hot Topic, they should have had that conversation outside. I can agree with you, because this was at your wife's event. However, you're acting as if Bobby was the only one who was acting up, and you decide to pour the water on him. Well, really, Bobby wasn't even doing too much. Like, really, you should have thrown water on Hot Topic, but no, you can't do that because she's a woman and you're a man, and that would be wrong, right? So then he talks about how Bobby needs to learn how to address people. And Bobby's like, address who? He's like, you need to learn how to address me. And again, Bobby didn't do anything to this man. So I'm not understanding where Swerve is coming from in any of this. Like, it's crazy. And the fact that he's standing on the fact that he poured water on Bobby. He don't feel no way about it at all. So Bobby, he's like, okay, I get it. Maybe you're upset because I knew about the email, but, was any of it true? You already know Swerve ain't gonna answer that. He's like, you ain't getting no apology and you ain't getting no answers. Baby, nothing was resolved. Nothing was resolved from this whole situation. And I'm kind of annoyed because the way Swerve is operating, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're going to make Trina 10 times worse than what she already is. But you know what? That was the end of the episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.